Hello, everybody. I'm Riccardo Sai. I'm a creative producer, advertising director, and a personal branding photographer. I'm here with Kerry Ellis. So, Kerry, a couple of words about who you are and what you do.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I'm Kerry. Thanks for having me this afternoon. That's brilliant. I'm an image consultant and personal stylist. So I help people to think about their personal brand and how that comes across in terms of what they choose to wear, so their wardrobe effectively. And like I say, I've been helping clients for about 15 years now. Absolutely love what I'm doing. I think it's really important that we think about personal brand and helping people to feel confident in their clothes and actually thinking about what this says about them. That's what I'm all about.
Great. So, today we're going to talk about, about a very interesting topic, that we talked about in the last couple of weeks, which is personal branding, commodity or luxury. So I just wanted to ask you about that, so what's your take on this? What do you think?
So yeah, so I think that people used to think that thinking about themselves as a personal brand was a luxury and that perhaps it was something that only celebrities thought about. And believe you me, celebrities, most of them do have personal brand teams that think about their brand. But I think with the proliferation of social media in particular, we're all putting ourselves out there a lot more. So we're all using images and showing ourselves more down various social media channels. So I actually don't think it's a luxury at all now. I think we are thinking about ourselves and how we come across, and therefore it is more of a commodity, more of a thing that is something we all should be doing and all should be thinking about. I think it makes a big difference if you put images out there that are really you. So this is not about fake news. This really isn't. It's about thinking about who you are, what you're all about. That's what your brand is, really, your reputation, what you're all about, and how that comes across in the way that you either, I talk about look, sound, and behave, but particularly for me and for you, I guess the look, and perhaps for you the sound bit as well, in terms of helping our clients. So I very much don't see it as a luxury thing at all, especially if you work and especially if you run your own business. Oftentimes, in the latter case, you are your business. So it's really important that you think about how you're coming across, and are you talking to the right people, are you giving the right vibes in terms of the customers that you want to attract, that kind of thing. It really does make a big difference. What about you then? How do you see it, Riccardo?
I think, I mean, while you were talking, I just thought about something, which is a unicity. I think we are all unique brands. We are unique people, and we are unique brands. So I think my job is really kind of helping people, to bring that unicity out. So we all kind of. It's funny, because sometimes I work with people who don't think they are very pretty or handsome. To me, it's not about that.
Not about
It's not about feeling.
not about that.
It's about feeling kind of amazing about ourselves, excited about who we are. It's not about having a few extra pounds of after Christmas. So I think it's really kind of and we did talk about that already. About being very, very comfortable about yourself. And really kind of embracing that kind of unicity. That unique self that you are. And I think that's something that I'm really kind of passionate about, and it's interesting to take the people on this journey, But also, another thought that I had is that I it, I think people are becoming. I'm just thinking about LinkedIn, for example. I mean, people have been using social media, as you said before,
Yeah.
much more than before, and LinkedIn uh, much more than before. And so I noticed that, for example, on LinkedIn, I'm not a big fan of those photos which are kind of fake, with a very minimal background, white background, gray background, black background. For me, it's about taking people on location, just taking portraits of people uh, around London
Yeah.
or wherever, because that really helps, to just to tell your own story, your unique story. And I think, more and more people, I think, are aware of that, because there is a need more than before, for really connecting with your audience, really. And I think that's
Yeah.
true for brands, for bigger brands, but also for individuals, and as we said before, we are all brands in a way, and we communicate our stories, through images. So it's yeah, I think the trend is changing, and there is so it's becoming more like a necessity, I think. So
Yeah, I would agree. I would echo your point actually about I sort of also talk to people about not dressing like a corporate clone, you know, so the old-fashioned headshots with the white background and, you know, suited and booted and all that kind of thing, that doesn't really tell people much about you, does it? And I understand if that's what needs to happen in your organization, and that's absolutely fine. But if you've got the opportunity to sort of showcase a bit of uniqueness, so in my case, I would help people with their clothes, and you in terms of, like you're saying, you know, the whole package in terms of the background, the location, telling their story a bit more authentically, it makes it much more interesting as well, rather than looking at the, you know, the head and shoulders typical black and white or coloured or but very bland backgrounds. It's not interesting to look at, so it doesn't make great content in terms of, you know, inviting people to get to know you more. And it is all about that, you know, the classic like, know and trust, isn't it? Trying to help people to like you, then get to know you and trust you. And I think visually, well, we're all more visual beings anyway these days, that's for sure. But if you can put that across to people visually, then, you know, a picture tells 1,000 words or whatever they say. So you can really communicate who you are, just in terms of, you know, from my perspective, helping people to choose the clothes that say, you know, this is me and this is what I'm all about. And from your perspective, obviously, you know, capturing that then on camera for them, so that that's what the story that they're telling when they're then posting pictures out online or using them in LinkedIn or wherever they use their materials. But there's some good stats actually, I don't know if you know these ones, but about first impressions and things, because when you look at an image, we're all, you know, looking at phones these days, but honestly 93% of the first impression you make has got nothing to do with words, so it is all about what you see. So that's really interesting one. And I don't know if you've read a book by Malcolm Gladwell, sorry, called Blink. And that says about the impact that we all basically make, because we all make snap judgments, and we do it unconsciously. We're not doing this deliberately. We make snap judgments, and those images that, you know, you put across to people make a difference. So it is really powerful what you can do in terms of, you know, the way you look and then the way you capture people on film. So I don't know if you haven't read that book. It's a good one, Riccardo.
I haven't read it, so that definitely I will check it out. Yeah, but I think, yeah, I agree with you. You know, first impression is so important, and I think is a so it's important to get it right. I think, you know, because it's and that's why
Yeah,
I feel like those kind of corporate business cultures, because I think they're just they're just the same. You know, they're all the same. You know, so there's no really
yeah,
there's nothing unique about them. You know, and I think is that as you I think as you mentioned as well. You know, for me, it's about connectivity. It's about feeling connected
yeah,
with
yeah,
yourself. You know, and I think you start with connecting with your own personality. You know, with who you are. You know, and with your own.
yeah,
You know, if you're again, some people don't like the term brand, which I understand that, you know, but to me, you know, brand is it's your personality, you know. So it's
yeah,
really kind
yeah,
of embracing that personality, you know, that unique self that you are. And I think and just really being comfortable with that. And I think is a and once you connect with that, I think that's the first thing that you need to do, you know, to really kind of connecting with who you are, your personal story, and then, you know, bring that story out, you know, and that's where people like us are there to really kind of facilitate and help really how to translate that story that you have inside, you know, and
yes, yes,
communicate that to the outer world, you know. So you have other people that can help you, you know, to discover that story. You know, you have therapists, you know, you have business coaches, life coaches, you know, but perhaps also we can help them in a way in that initial stage, you know. But then after that, you know, it's how you communicate that story, that personality, that unique personality that you have to the rest of the world, you know. And I think that's where, you know, you need a stylist and a photographer, I think. So
absolutely. So
and-
in answer to our question, personal brand is more of a commodity than a luxury, I would say. You know, it's not just the privilege of the celebrities or whatever these days. I think it's all about us all, each and every one of us, just embracing who we are, and don't call it personal brand, then call it personality, call it yourself, whatever, you know, adjective you want to use. But I would say, you know, it matters, and it makes you feel really confident inside as well to get these things right. So yeah, absolutely embrace it.
Thank you, Kerry. So that's been a very interesting talk. So can't wait to share it with other people. So see what people think about that. And so thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for your time. Thanks then. Bye-bye.
Bye.